Hello, welcome back. We are here for the semifinals. For those of you at home, this is going to be a little bit different. Last week we faced St. Rose. This week we're facing the Ragin Cajun Reds. But we have our same roster, but we have a little bit change up for our casting crew today. My name is Mark Runes 33 Gregory, and I am joined with someone a little bit different. You can introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Mara Marvelous Hansen.
All right, and we are going to be your casters tonight. We are, different crews, same deal. We have Ithaca got their usual lineup. Starting from the top side, we have Eli Ron Robinson. And then in the jungle, we will have Matt Icy Sandbag Pulsifer. And then we have in the mid lane, we have Matt Garfield Lazaga Kruger. And then in our bot side, we have Tenzin Icy Clouds Namgyel. And his support will be Manny Manwalrus Sanchez. And this game is going to be exciting because it's semifinals, so this means big things coming up for our Bombers. Things will be big stakes here as always, and we're going to be very excited for Champs League because last week we had a very exciting 2-0, but two very incredibly close games. Hopefully this week we have similar success, but I'm very excited. Are you ready to get into this, Mara?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alrighty. So we have draft coming up in one moment. All right. Thinking about last week, we had a very jungle focused draft. And looking at this week, I assume that IC will again focus around IC Sandbag as he, on that trundle with lethal tempo was going off. And, seeing draft so far, not much has happened as we're waiting for our first bands to come through. But what are you thinking in terms of the meta right now? This last week, was just us being thrown into the preseason changes. How do you feel about with the new items, new runes, new drakes, everything?
Yeah. I think it's still a very jungle-focused meta, and I think that Lethal Tempo is a really powerful rune, especially with melee champions. You just get that disgusting attack speed and extra attack range very early on, especially with champions like Yone Yasuo. It's super abusable.
Oh yeah, it's a bit ridiculous, especially like when you have those strong champions who can just scale into the game and like you said, Yone Yasuo. It's gonna be Oh, we already have our first band coming through, and I believe who is that?
Nunu.
Is that Nunu? Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. That makes sense. Yep. As we talked about our junglers, it's something again. More junglers. There goes Lilia.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, they keep on coming, Jack. So it makes sense. I'm surprised to see Trundle make it through this far. What are your thoughts on this so far?
I think that with the AP jungler bans, they're probably looking to play some kind of mage mid lane. So we'll see very gank focused there. And with the Trundle making it through, I think that IC Sandbag will definitely head towards that.
Oh yeah, and we were talking about a little bit before the Riven one trick in the top side for the Raging Cajuns. This is his Riven
Oh,
is well respected. Oh, and the Camille ban, interesting. But
Insta lock Xin Zhao, so not going
that
towards
was
the Trundle
oh,
actually. But
I mean, they very similar. You said focusing on AP
oh
mid
yeah,
laner. They both can work with that. Hmm.
very good gank setup very early, and also
And speaking of Trundle,
oh, there he is.
let's see if it's locked in.
Zin's also
Yeah, I
pretty safe
mean,
blind pick into most of the meta junglers right now.
oh yeah, and with this matchup, I'd say it's shaping up for blue side, which is Ithaca, to have a very strong objective control because Zin gets all of his lanes ahead because he's so aggressive in the beginning. So hopefully this can show that they get those early drakes, get those cool new chem tech in Hex Tech Soul. Very exciting. And
Yeah. Wonder what
in terms of
the Raging Cajuns are gonna pick with this one. They match jungle already. Oh, going for the Thresh. One of the like the best engaged supports right now. He's got a lot of utility.
oh yeah, Thresh. I feel like Thresh is never like unviable. Like
Never.
regardless of the meta, like Thresh is always like
The
you can always
Lantern is
make him useful.
so good.
Exactly, Lantern, his hook, Flay. Just like what a great kid. Uh, Thresh is it makes sense, and let's see if like Thresh also really just opens up the choices for like ADC, and they can do
Oh,
Aphelios, they can do
the
speaking of which, they can't do Aphelios anymore.
IC picks Gragas. Now that could be flexed top, support, even mid if they wanted to.
Oh yeah.
And the
Well, if you look
Aphelios,
at
200
Eliron's
years,
match
man.
history, he's been spamming Gragas in the top lane, like
Oh yeah,
without fail, and that's it. It's like has like a 60% win rate on it right now, so
yeah.
I can see that
Definitely
coming
a
up.
comfort champ.
Hmm.
That also opens
So
up
it's
Garfield's Lazaga to pick more AD since you've got that AP covered with the Gragas.
oh yeah,
Jinx, though,
exactly.
that's another hyper carry that the Raging Cajuns have picked up. Also
So
really good with
they're
Thresh.
they're gonna be able to scale right alongside of each other, Aphelios and Jinx, and
Oh yeah,
now we have a Corki band coming out and Aatrox as well. It makes sense for them to get rid of some of Gragas' bad matchups.
yeah. It looks like IC is trying to pinch the enemy top laner, especially with the
Yeah,
Jax, the Riven, the Aatrox. Like they're just trying to make it so that he's forced onto a champ that they're not comfortable on.
and that's ideal. And honestly, and the Camille was banned away by the side of the Raging Cajuns, so
Yeah,
like Icy didn't even have to do that.
maybe they were afraid
And,
that Eli Ron would have picked it up himself. Oh, the
yeah,
Lissandra.
they put respect on Eli, and
Maybe
Lissandra
Raging
is
Cajun
interesting.
looking for a assassin pick with the Lissandra ban.
Yeah, I can see that. It would make sense. I personally would like it just because it's exciting to see assassins picked.
Oh yeah,
Much more exciting than the Vladimir.
especially with
Boring and
the
stale camp.
with Axiom arc. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh my goodness, that item! It's so cool. Just seeing a Zed all like twice in a team fight, horrifying, but so cool.
It on Nocturne is like the worst.
Oh my
He's just
goodness, I didn't even
ulting like
think
3 times in a minute.
that's oh my goodness, that's so cool. See, that's
Just
like some people are scared of that, but that's just me excited, even though
oh yeah, no, that's it. It makes for some fun gameplay. Oh,
And speaking of
assassin.
AP mid laners, Silas is, he can be an assassin.
He's kind of everything.
Yeah. Again, those 200 years champion. He's got some good ults to steal when you look at the Gragas Cask and the Aphelios Moonlight Vigil.
Yeah, I mean the value of Moonlight Vigil is kind of reduced since Silas doesn't have 5 guns, but
Yeah,
still
it's true. It's just
still an extra
big
burst of damage
AoE.
that he can just throw out.
And it appears that Gragas is confirmed to be in the top side with the locking
Yep,
of Braum.
I like
So
the
they're
Braum pick.
leaving. Oh yeah, I'm a big fan. It's
Counters the Thresh, kind of the aftershock supports. Just
and you think about it, you can
disengage.
be very aggressive with Braum too. You can be
Hmm.
with his what is his passive? The concussive blows, I believe,
Yeah,
and the stun. It's
concussive
with
blows
Aphelios, you
combined
can
with
stack it up real quick.
yeah, concussive blows and Aphelios' green gun. Just boom,
Oh yeah,
you're stunned from halfway across the lane.
it's
And
Champ's kind of ridiculous.
yeah, and the Victor picked up for Garfield's Lazaga.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I know. I love me some scaling mid laners for Lazaga, and that's most certainly what Victor is. We're gonna see
yeah.
him one shotting those squishy carries in the end, like the late game.
I see he's got a lot of insurance for their late game with the hyper carry of Felios and the control mage of Victor.
And is that gonna be an Ari?
Oh, does that mean
Oh,
they're pivoting Silas top?
oh
I think.
yeah. I actually like that a lot.
Oh
They
yeah,
have a lot of AP, but like I like the Silas into the Gragas
yeah.
because
I think if the enemy team's relying on getting to late, your Jinx will just run over most of those champions.
yeah, there's gonna be we talked about this beforehand, but there's gonna be so much pressure on the jugglers here, seeing that Xin Zhao is gonna be the only early game pressure that IC has, while
Yeah.
similarly Trundle doesn't have that same early game pressure, but he's gonna have to keep up with the Xin Zhao. And on that front, we're gonna be getting into game very soon, so I'll see you guys in just a little bit.
All
Welcome
right.
back. Here we are on Summoner's Rift. We have IC versus the Ragin Cajun Reds. We'll say that 5 times fast. But here we go. We have a very normal start. Right.
Yeah. Let's talk
Oh,
about rune choices while the team's set up. Got Icy Clouds running the lethal tempo. That's new this preseason for Aphelios.
oh, that's very exciting. And we have a quick
Pause.
moment of pause here, real quick, and there we go. Right back. We have
Hmm.
a big five group up at the enemy
Yeah.
red buff. Let's see if they can make a play off of this. They don't have too much long range CC, so it seems like they're gonna just be getting some vision.
Yeah.
Nothing super exciting. But as you talked about with those rune choices, lethal tempo on Aphelios. This is a big change of the season. We talked about lethal tempo. It ramps up a lot more. It can give you increased range, which Aphelios is like. This is a dream keystone for him. Like he
We also
already has so much. Continue.
we also see the Thresh running the I think Glacial Augment. With the amount of CC Thresh has in his kit, that's just offers so much potential in team fights.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of the new glacial augment. It felt so before you could use it on like very few champions. Now it's like so widely applicable. It's much better suited for just the game in general because everybody can use it now.
And Raging Cajun Reds actually got vision on IC's red buff, so they know exactly where Xin Zhao is and where he's starting, so they can use that information to track him.
Oh yeah, and they should be. This should, as we talked about earlier, very important with the jungle matchup because of how much pressure is on Xin Zhao being the only form of early game pressure that IC has. And looking towards bot side now, we do. I'm thinking personally, as you know, from my opinion as a top laner, that in this matchup, the Braum and Aphelios should have the advantage here.
Yeah, they're favored until about level 6 when Jinx gets her ultimate.
Okay, that because it just feels like the range is a bit of an issue, and the all is definitely favorable for Aphelios and Braum.
Oh yeah. So there's some light trading, CSing going on across all lanes. Oh,
Light trading might not be so light, and oh, here we go. This might be a death for Leron, and he uses his belly bump and waddles away, as Gragas does in his early game. But we have still more action coming up, and we have Xin Zhao getting engaged on by Trundle. There goes the pillar, there goes the bite flash, and follow up, and that's first blood. Ooh, very well played. They got the pressure on top side. Eliron could not help, and there goes Sandbag.
yeah.
Ooh.
One positive for IC, they did get both the flash out of Silas and Trundle, so maybe Eliron after a base TP can look to punish that.
Yeah, gotta look at the positives.
Oh yeah,
Gotta
yeah.
look at something that went well there. And
Silas
hopefully
definitely
that
out trading though.
oh yeah, that's the whole game. Silas against the tank is he can keep up these very aggressive trades. As we see one right here, cue the secondary explosion a bit off the mark there, expecting Leron to walk into it, but allowing him to just waddle away. But he's still going aggressive. Gragas' passive should give him some sustain to live through those.
Like Sandbag's moving up, looking to punish Silas's aggression. Oh.
And without the flash, he's still able to make it away. Oh, and we got more action on the bot side, but it turns out just be a pillar traded for, just a little bit of damage. And also, one thing we have not mentioned is the Ahri in this mid lane. I'm not sure if this is a new season thing or if this is just like a Raging Cajun special here, but Ahri, not a very, a popular champion, competitive play very often. So I'm personally very excited to see if there will be any, very aggressive plays made once she gets level 6 and she can start roaming and just, start using that charm to just tear through people's defenses. This was
not something you see very often in
this is a
higher elo League of Legends.
Oh yeah, especially I believe the new item it's like Shadow Flame that like scales off of magic penetration.
Mm-hmm.
It's another item that the champs are just like, man, all these new items, wonderful new tools everybody can play with. That's why these preseason changes I'm a big fan of. And, more trading topside, but Silas not coming on top this time.
No,
And
that E missing was huge.
and Eli Ron showing him that the big man don't play.
Yeah, there's that
Bringing a
flash punish
hand.
we were talking about earlier.
Oh yeah. And so
I
that's good for I see to even back up the gold, It may not be as profitable as first blood, but it's definitely something that you need to get back into the top side there.
yeah. I also really like the first item, like the first component, Oblivion Orb from the Gragas. Just completely neuters Silas in lane.
Oh yeah, it's that's some Eli Ron, smart player, smart build, he that's just on brand for him. He's and you see that we'll see throughout this game. He's so crucial to this team, so that on a pick like Gragas, you have to be very stable and consistent. But able to get a kill on Gragas, that's a bit more than just consistent. That's a bit ridiculous. And he's supposed to be the late game engage, but he can do more than that if you build him full AP, which it seems like he'd be doing with that Oblivion Orb start.
Yeah, and that Amp Tome.
Oh
Wonder if,
yeah.
speaking of preseason items, wonder if Victor or Silas might go for the Crown of the Shattered Queen.
Okay, I need to remember. Is that the one where it reduces the incoming damage?
Yeah, it's the new
Okay,
Mage
there you
Mythic.
go.
It has been terrorizing me in solo queue.
I mean, for Victor, it probably would not be a bad idea with the amount of burst that comes from the Raging Cajuns, with Silas, Ari, and Jinx. Reducing all that damage, not a bad idea.
It's like Xin Zhao's, look how Sandbag's looking to set up a gank in the top lane, but not much is happening there.
Yeah, let's see if Silas can escape with his mobility. He seems to be going in, but I think he'll be all right there. But the bot side again, we just have some more trading.
Yeah, Felius got his red-white guns. Raging Cajun need
Oh,
to be
yeah.
careful.
Oh yeah, those are the big fighting guns. He's got all that lifesteal and all that attack speed. Yeah, what is it? Savrum and Crescendum.
Yep.
It's and again, if he goes in, Braum will be able to stack up that passive to get a quick stun. Luckily, Jinx has been playing very carefully around her minion wave to be able to dodge out on all of the Braum Qs.
Yeah, because if even one of those lands and if Felios manages to tag with a few autos, that could lead to a kill.
Oh yeah, that will lead to a kill.
Oh yeah.
You see that ignite that Braum has is ready to be fired, and
Gold stands about even
surprisingly,
as we head towards the first Drake.
yeah, I'm a bit surprised that that IC wasn't able to have enough pressure to but we got fighting going on here, and it seems that Sandbag will go down very quickly, and continuing to chase is Ari, is relentless as we talked about earlier, and yep, she keeps on going for the double kill. She get a triple kill to do the tower dive. This may be a bit dicey. The flash will come out, and they will walk away with just a double kill. This is that's ideal. You get the Drake and you get 2 kills, and we got more fighting on top side. Oh, but the camera decides to run away from the fighting. I'm assuming that Eliron lives.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if that Silas chain connects, that's a
Oh
one
yeah.
dead Gragas.
It was really just it had to just be some form of just a slight miss of the mouse click because he had him perfectly set up with that CC chain with the cask into the chain, and more aggression coming out, and this he shows you how to use the cask, makes him burn the flash. Zin's coming out, gets the kill, but will he walk away? It seems like he is committing to going down to the tower, or he's burning down. Yep, the red buff takes him out.
Yeah, that red smite, brutal.
Oh yeah, and that's why Zin's out an early game champ. But you'd like to see. Personally, I'd like to see a bit more coming from this Zin's out, as his whole shtick is gotta get out early, gotta take advantage of everyone who's weaker than me. But he's just
And if
not.
we take a look at CS, like Trundle is good, 10 CS up on the Xin Zhao, so Trundle's going to be pretty massive the next couple minutes, and Xin hasn't been able to find much of an impact on the map.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting, but hopefully, as the game goes on, Zin will just be kind of like a knock-up bot or engage tool for the hyper carries. They do have the Jinx and the Victor to rely on later on. And we have a bit of a skirmish on the top side, makes them burn the ult, flashes away from the chains, and that will be all. Very good from the side of the Raging Cage to get that flash out, though.
Yeah, about 1,500 gold up. Not insurmountable, but definitely significant at this point in the game.
So as we have a bit of a lull state, hold on, let me see if I jinxed it. All right, so in terms of the scaling here, we've been talking about the hyperscaling of IC with Aphelios and Victor, but do you think that they can sufficiently and safely scale away from a Jinx?
I think that Jinx offers an insane amount of scaling and a significantly scarier mid game than Aphelios can deliver. I think that Victor definitely outscales the Ahri though. Ahri is an early to mid game champion, but once Victor gets 2-3 items, like he's just gonna run over team fights as long as he's not getting caught.
Oh yeah. So it seems like we're gonna be. Oh, there goes the. Oh, 2 ults coming down. The flash is burned. There would be a chain. The fly comes out. Wilf, the rest. He's taking so many hits. The TP comes out, and there comes Ahri. Oh man, she's come through another double kill for this Ahri. We said that she's a mid-game champion. She's showing you she's exactly that. Triple kill. Oh, and the action does not stop. Trundle's whacking him down. Gragas throwing casks. It's happening all over the map. 2 casks down. Ooh, will there be any deaths? And yes, there is. Eli Ron goes down. And Victor is trying to walk away from Trundle, but we all know that frozen zone is hard to get out of. Will he be able to at least get the kill in return? The flash has to be burned. Oh man, so everything seems to be going the way of the Cajuns. Yeah, you got it.
4 kills answered with nothing from the side of IC.
Oh, and we just finished watching Jinx fire away at the tower, so that's tower plating, and Ahri getting her plating here. There's quite. Oh, and even after you TP, you get chunked to half health. Oh, I feel bad.
He's gonna have to base again or look for some honey fruit.
Yeah,
you just can't stay in a lane against a 5-0 Ahri.
Man, and wow, she's already got her what is the ice the freeze item?
Everfrost.
Everfrost, there we go. Oh man. I was about to call it the Glacial Augment, but that's the rune. But she's already so far ahead. And again from Silas. Oh my goodness. I feel like this is looking rather grim.
That Jinx passive speed is no joke. We're looking at a 5k gold lead at 13 minutes. That's kind of a stomp.
Oh man. See,
it's not impossible to come back, because we've talked about the Aphelios and the Victor scaling. Like they definitely have ways back into this game, and the Drake count isn't high for either team.
This is very true. And forces the ult out from the Ahri. But again, has to respect the fact that she does a lot more damage, and their charm is definitely back up now. If she lands that, you're going down. Oh man, looking at this situation, we're gonna have to see a lot from IC, and there is a mountain map. Unfortunately, nothing fun and exciting. No hex tech, no chem tech. But looking at this Drake, do you think that the mountain map favors one team over the other?
I'm not sure that the map does, but I think the soul definitely favors the side of Red Canids. They have a lot of squishy champions in the Silas, the Ahri, the Jinx, and those extra resistances are just going to prevent IC from executing their burst that they really want to get down.
Oh yeah, that's getting the soul is always a booster, but when you have so many, oh my goodness, that rocket came from downtown. Oh, Eli Rod did not pass his. Oh, he was not looking out for that rocket, but oh wow, and that's now a 10 kill lead for the side of the Raging Cajuns.
10 kills, 6,000 gold, and they're positioning around the Herald.
Oh yeah, and I don't see any way that IC can contest this.
No, I don't think they should try. I think if they tried, they just fall further and further behind. I think they just have to catch the waves.
And they not only the Braum ult is stolen, immediately thrown back down. A hook. Ooh, I don't know how they didn't tag Braum. And all the CC to cleanse comes out, and they're
There's just so much
at
fighting.
this point, they're just slapping them with their wallets at this point. Like they aren't
Yeah.
even like trying to give them any form of respect.
Victor does get the objective bounty though.
Oh
Not
yes.
sure how much it is. Probably around 250 at this point, which isn't a ton of gold, but it's something for IC.
Yeah, honestly, when you're this far behind, you gotta take what you can get.
Yeah.
And we've seen IC make miraculous comebacks time and time again, but this is maybe asking a big favor of them to surmount this gold lead.
Once the mythic comes through for Aphelios and Zin, we might be able to see a little bit more of a fair fight. But for now, it's definitely favored Red Canids. They've got all their mythics complete. Jinx is on 2 items.
Oh yeah, the Ragin Cajuns, they are far from struggling in this game. They are looking towards, they're probably thinking, how are we going to finish this game? What are we going to do? At this point, when I see Ari tower diving the tier 2 tower, they're like, it's a little bit of limit testing. I know that IC enjoys that phrase themselves, but not when it's being used against them. It's
Yeah.
and we see Silas posturing in the bush here, hoping for someone, specifically EI, to step a little bit too far so he can snag a kill on him.
Yeah. I don't know if Silas sees the Xin Zhao in the area though. IC might be able to turn this into a catch of their own. No.
But let's see if he's strong enough to make this 2v1 play go down. He drops the cask. Another cask comes down, and it's looking pretty bad for Silas here. And there we go. They're just gonna, Xin Zhao is gonna do what he can, slap him down, get a shutdown. That's one step back into this game.
Yeah, that's not insignificant as as IC just gets an infusion of about 1,000 gold there.
Which is, oh man, that's that's a big one.
That's needed.
Unfortunately, it's on the Xin Zhao, which isn't one of their primary carries. But hey, gold is gold. They'll take it.
Yep. Especially when Xin Zhao hasn't really hit the point where he's like spiked into the mid game yet, so he can still become a lot more useful with 1 to 2 items.
This is very true. Finishing
There's
up that Gore Drinker.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing to just think about is the way that I was able to make that play happen with Vision. Just the fact that, despite the fact it wasn't anything super spectacular, but just the Raging Cajuns ignoring the vision that they didn't have. Because, Silas was just, he felt very confident as the, having over a 5k gold lead makes you a little confident.
Yep.
But just didn't realize that, Xin Zhao was in the area, as you pointed out.
And as we take stock heading into the Drake, spawns in about 15 seconds. There's pretty much all summoners are up for everybody except Braum's Flash, Jinx heals down. So Victor and Ari will be able to teleport. But it looks like IC's making a play towards the top side.
Oh yeah, can you teleport when you have 3 members on top of you right now? And oh my goodness, these fancy footwork dodging everything, but that's still not going to be enough. They're trying to give this kill over to Victor, but Eli Ron takes the last auto attack. But the Cajuns will, they're going to take their Drake while letting Ari be the sacrificial lamb, I guess.
Yeah.
And
well, that gold is definitely nice to have as IC. You just gave up Soul Point.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do, but
Yeah.
when you have Herald charging down the bot lane, when 3 members up in the top side, someone should be backing for this.
Like pretty much all of IC is backing to try to stop this push.
There they are.
Oh, that Victor
That's
wave
2
clear.
Herald charges. That Victor wave clear is very important, but will it be enough? Oh, wow. Sandbag got eviscerated by that Jinx. And, oh, man. Ari is, getting more of her double kills. But Eli Ron flashing forward for about a pixel of health. Oh, their Silas coming in with the TP, steals the Jin Zhao's ultimate. And this is looking like it could be game with Red Ken, or oh my goodness, with the Raging Cajun getting ace.
I think that might be all they were. Oh, they don't have the wave.
Oh, they gotta wait.
Gonna have to back off.
Oh, that tower
Oh,
almost. Oh,
oh, you're
playing with
sweating right now
fire.
if you're Ari.
Yeah. Looking at that, you want to be able to end the game if you're red side here, but it's just you didn't have the wave. The team fight all went your way. At this point, the IC members are respawning. You gotta get back. They don't even have a Baron yet.
Got to give credit to Eliron though for that with his double kill, taking down the Jinx and the Thresh. Definitely made it so that the Raging Cajuns couldn't push too fast.
Oh yeah, with just looking at how this game has gone, I gotta say that the beginning was a bit rough, but as things have progressed, IC has started to gather themselves. With this team fight's going on, the box comes down. There goes the Everfrost, and it seems like Legacy just keeps on going through, getting his kill.
Jinx has been pre-hitting.
Yeah, the amount of zone control they have with the pillar and the box, it's just they zone out the entire team. And then Sandbag's just stuck there like, guys, help me, but they just can't cross.
And this is the ideal situation for Raging Cajuns. They've got super minions pushing in the bot wave, and then they can go take Baron on the top side, so IC has to pick what they want to do.
Oh, Eliron, what you doing back there? You're all alone? And Ari's not going to let him get away. Oh, man. So now the entire team of IC is on wave clear duty. That's the best they can do.
I mean, one thing you can say about super minions, they give a lot of gold. So if IC can hold on through this Baron,
That is true.
Just received a pretty big gold infusion if they're farming up all those supers.
And we have some aggression coming from the side of IC. A bit surprising. The Everfrost tags the Braum. Chains continue. The concussive blows goes wide. And yeah, just some light trading. And not really some trading, actually. It's just the Cajuns using their Baron to have their cannon minions shoot down the towers.
They're knocking down all the turrets outside of their base.
It's, wow. Eliron did some damage.
Yeah, that Gragas burst is nothing to sneeze at. We've got the Soul Dragon coming up in a minute, and with IC having to defend against Baron minions and super minions, I wonder if he'll. I mean, they have to contest, right?
I mean, you contest or you lose at this point, or do you think that you can outscale the Mountain Soul? That's a bold claim, but it's just. I guess we see what these players do. I would give my opinion, but I'm not the one on the keys right now.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes in less than a minute now.
And about 30 seconds on the Dragon. I think what's really important is that either team needs to establish their vision control around the Drake.
That is very important. As we talked about, the Cajuns, they've stepped up their vision. They are being very careful about this. They had Ari go out there, check to see who's at red buff. We got some far side wards coming down.
With control over the pit, they can afford to use all their blue trinkets to just.
Is this going to be a kill right here?
Oh no!
Oh, ult comes out, dashes towards the Krugs, more dashing. Ult comes out. Ooh, the missile goes wide. A flash comes through, and there goes down the Drake.
And that's soul. And that's soul for Raging Cajun.
We'll see if they this is spelling like it should be the game, as Sandbag goes down.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if IC can pull out some kind of miracle. Their inhibitors coming back up, so at the very least, Raging Cajun have to break that before they can move on to the Nexus turrets.
Cast comes down. The ult comes down. Glacial Fissure. Oh, Jinx is down. This is looking like a good fight. There you go. TP coming through. There you go, dodges the chains. Braum on his little twinkle toes right now, dodging everything. And then Aphelios 200 years are happening right now. Forcing the Raging Cajuns out of the base. this is ideal. That
We
was
asked for a miracle, and IC kind of delivered.
yeah. They lost one member to gain 2 kills.
Yeah, I
That's
really, I really
honestly
like
that's
the,
ideal.
I really like the initial pick on the Jinx though, because Jinx feels like such an integral part of Raging Cajun's team fighting, and
Oh
just
yeah.
gone.
As we talked about, as this game goes on, Jinx becomes the most important member of their Agent Cajuns. As Ari got out to such a huge lead at one point, being 5-0, things are starting to, the rest of the game is starting to catch back up with her. Victor is starting to be able to get online where he can one shot everybody. Things are getting a little scary for the Cajuns, but
Yeah.
they're still very much in control. They're still very
Oh
much
yeah.
in control.
Still a 9K gold lead. There's still a lot of work IC needs to do to catch up.
Just a 9K gold lead.
Oh yeah, no big deal. Just yeah.
But this looking to see how IC handles this. Like, what ideally do we want outside of just turtling in base? Like, how do you make these miracles come back? Like what do you do here?
I I think your next play is to look for Baron with your even with your 2 inhibs exposed. As long as you can keep those up, you don't have to deal with super minions crashing. Another thing I wanted to highlight is Icy Clouds was building towards a collector, and then as soon as the soul came around, switched immediately to Lord Dominic's Regards, which is a really important item with all these resistances coming through.
Very very smart for him. See, that's it trying to shred through the mountain soul. Collector, it's a good item, but got to be practical here. The LDR much more useful here, and then we got the Ari burst coming out, but the whole team's here. The Zonya's coming through, but she gets shut down by the Victor. Another kill for him, but oh my goodness. Ponder coming through, just grabbing the Victor afterwards. But let's see if Silas can make it through. Bromdish zoning off the rest of the team. Is this another Miracle team fight coming through? Eliron slays Loaf. Here we go. Jinx. She's still able to free fire. We have Gragas versus Silas. We've seen this battle multiple times, but now they have lots of items on him. Eliron's running away, dashes through. Can he make it out? He gets out unscathed. IC walks back to their fountain.
That's the Jinx again. Free. That's the Jinx free hitting. Even though Raging Cajuns were split, Jinx was just allowed to kind of click on the enemy team.
Yeah, it's as she keeps going. Oh, but he's still here. Eliron is relentless.
He's does not let her get away. Look at him go.
Oh man, now we got the Jinx separated from the Thresh. This could be good. This could be very good. Oh, but there comes Ari. She's taking out Icy Clouds. We got fighting all across the map. But now she's again all alone with multiple members of IC on top. And here they go. Will she be able to shred through all 3 of them? I don't think so.
And that's something Ari could do earlier in the game when Ari...
Oh man, they gotta watch out for these rockets, these super mega death rockets coming left and right. People caught recalling in bushes.
That's just disrespectful.
Oh man, here comes Gragas again. Eliron knows no fear. He just goes in.
Yeah, teams are looking to position around Baron. One fight gets them that major objective.
This is so interesting. How they were, what was it, like a 9K gold deficit?
Yeah.
And now these fights are looking even.
Yeah, it's that scaling we've been talking about since draft. Aphelios and Victor are coming online.
Oh yeah.
And that Gragas is doing so much work.
But will they be able to contest this Baron?
Raging Cajuns are setting up for the Baron, and IC's not really in position. They might be looking for the Elder Drake, though. That spawns in a minute. That would be pretty huge for the team fights.
Ooh, they kind of have to just let that Baron go down. But Eliron, he's always ready to fight.
Looking for a scrap.
Oh man. And nothing doing from there. So the Raging Cajuns, they cannot take their Baron and be on their way.
This might not be
great. But some of them don't base. They come right to Baron, and there's Ari. Picks off Braum. Ooh.
That's big before the Elder Drake. Without that Braum as your kind of secondary engage with that ult, you have quick lockdown with Xin, and Gragas, and then they're free to kind of hit you up, like hit you.
Yeah, so all the poke coming off from across the Baron pit. Legacy goes through. He keeps on free firing with that Jinx, the stolen Moonlit Vigil. He's bounced on, but Silas keeps going. He's diving into the back line while Drake is being taken. Silas is taking down, and looks like he's taking over this game, and that's the ace. And honestly, as soon as
You
this
got to
Drake
think
comes
that's going to
down,
be the
this game
game.
should be over.
All 3 mega buffs, and I think Raging Cajuns is just going to push to the base.
I see Gabe one time with getting aced and then having no minions in there, and they just call it the game, and that's it. And you know what? They had a very valiant effort, but we're going to be moving on into game 2.
And then
We'll be
GG
seeing you
Raging.
guys in draft in a little bit. See you then. Welcome back. Here we are, game two. After a very devastating game one, here we are back again with game two. And all right, we're right out to the draft. We got our regular jungle bands coming out. But what would you
Wonder
like
if
to see in terms of adjustments?
I think I'd like to see a Jinx ban, or at the very least, some kind of adaptation from IC in terms of the bot lane. I don't want to see
Hmm.
passive scaling alongside the Jinx. I want to see them punish something like that early.
Oh, we already have some Trundle band coming out, so they acknowledged the Trundle was a bit of a problem, which I agree with you that they need to change the way that they're playing because the slow and steady wins the race game plan did not go too great. And I personally, I'd say either the Zen Zhao was nice, but I would like something that can at least offer more when it comes to team fights because a lot of the times it was like using alt to run away or dashing to Krugs to get away from the Ari, just trying to get out. And ooh, that's some aggression right there.
Yeah, that offers a lot of the scaling that you want from the Aphelios, while also not having the same kind of dip in power that Aphelios hits from around levels like 3 and or level 6 until he gets 2 items.
Yeah, I was surprised that we had no presence of misfortune at all with picks or bans before, but glad to see that she's popping up this time. Incredibly strong champion right now. And
And
on the opposite side,
Raging Cajun is just taking away that Braum. They don't want to see it again. I guess they thought that Man Walrus had an excellent performance on it, and they want to try to replicate that in game two.
yeah, I mean, with the CC chain that they provided with the Gragas, with the Braum, it just, having the cask and the glacial fissure come down, it's like, how can you move? Where can you move? But paired with it, they want to replicate, as you said. They bring in some CC with Jarvan.
Yeah, I think that fits in a similar vein of Trundle of kind of primary engage. You just press your Cataclysm on somebody, and boom, they're locked up.
Oh, yeah. And ooh, someone who was banned away last time, the Lilia being hovered this time. Not as much of a early game, but definitely more of a power farm, wait for the team fight jungle type
Yeah.
this. And
And with the first Scuttle Crab nerfs, we're definitely seeing kind of a return to the power farm junglers because you don't
yeah,
have to
I'm a
fight over
big fan of
crab.
that. I mean, of course, there is the downside of giving away double crab, but it's much more viable to just be a power farmer now. And looking at it, I like the fact that now farming jungles and aggressive jungles are both very viable. It
Yeah,
we got
the
Seraphine
Seraphine.
locked in. So now is that going mid or bot lane?
I know in game one of their series against St. Rose, Garfield's Lazaga took it mid, but that could flex either role.
Oh yeah, I want to see this go mid. It
There's
seems
the
like
Jinx, and there's the Jinx again.
oh, let's see if the Jinx was the problem because if they bring the aggression of misfortune, and they know the whole bot lane now. They don't have to blind support.
Yeah,
So they hopefully, we see some bans coming out. Oh, Gragas, they don't want that engaged. They don't want him running around. Eli was doing too much work,
and
so many problems.
similarly from the Raging Cajuns, they ban out the solo laners that, or for IC, they ban out the solo laners that Raging Cajun use. They thought that they had too much power in the early game,
Oh
and I'd
yeah, I gotta
agree.
say, respecting that Ari is a good move.
Oh yeah,
With the amount of, well, to be fair, my one critique of Raging Cages was Ari's in the late and mid game was a bit too overeager to use her advantage.
Lulu. Oh, that's a
A
Lulu
Lulu,
solo lane.
is this a troll hover or is that locked in?
That's a
That was
lock
locked in.
in.
Oh man.
Oh
So
wow,
yeah, that's oh man. Oh, this is gonna be
they're
interesting.
going all in on that Jinx.
Yeah. This so this is before we said, take away Jinx, and now the cage is like you didn't take away Jinx, so that's all we're gonna do is Jinx.
And with that Amumu lock in, I think that's pretty much firming up that Seraphine to go mid.
Oh yeah.
Double enchanter mid lane. You love to see it.
Oh man. But honestly, oh, and the Jax that was banned away last time. Is Eli gonna pop off again, just with a much more aggressive champion? I would be, happy to see less of engage and more of I'm going to take over this game from Eli because I know, as we know, he's a very powerful player. But
Yeah, and if we're talking about shutting down a Jinx, nothing works better than a Jax. You pop that counter strike, Jinx can't auto you, hop on top for 1 to
yeah,
0.
that's it's simple as that. And oh man, just looking at oh oh no
Speaking of hyperscaling,
oh no the Vladimir
range top laners.
oh
Or
rage
that
top.
actually could go mid. They could switch to Lulu top, but either way, range
It's
top.
okay. Just my opinion. I'd much rather have Vlad into Jax than Lulu into Jax.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Lulu offers. She's pretty strong right now, but she doesn't offer a lot of power.
Yeah, not at least not in a solo lane versus a Jax who's just gonna,
Yeah.
that
So
the counter
I'm
strike's
expecting that
gonna
Lulu
come
to go
out.
mid to match the Seraphine.
Yeah, as this, champs could go everywhere. This draft very interesting, very exciting, and we're gonna be very ready to get into game two. So I'm gonna throw it to a quick break right before we hop into game two. See you then. Welcome back, my friends. Here we are again with game two. So, we see some very interesting things. I'd like to focus our attention to the mid lane. While it might not be the most exciting mid lane champs, it sure is interesting. We have Lulu versus Seraphine. Oh man. So Mara, this is I don't even I see a tier start, but this is gonna be a very grindy, very slow mid game, I feel,
Yeah.
or early game.
30 seconds until
And speaking of the misfortune with the aggression we talked about during draft, Misfortune's running first strike.
Oh, I love
Another
this.
one of
I
those
love
new
this rune.
keystones.
I am such a fan of this rune. It is okay. I
And that
held my
ward,
breath there for some silence.
yeah, that ward donated to Eli Ron means that he's gonna hit level 2 off the first wave rather than having to wait for wave 2.
Ooh, and that is very important, as Jax will be able to punish Vlad before he gets access to the pool.
Yeah.
But it's
And Misfortune starting the longsword, they are looking to go aggressive into this Jinx.
this bot lane is going. Oh man, especially having an Amumu support with the changes that came in a while ago last season, giving him 2 bandage tosses. Puts a very aggressive support. That champ is frustrating in the bot lane, to say the least.
I gotta say, I'm surprised that Raging Cajuns didn't pick up the Thresh again. Braum does offer a lot of the same peel, but a lot less of like the saving the AD carry that Thresh does.
I also agree. I would have liked the Thresh, but I guess there was a bit of, I think, fear in the drafting. They didn't want IC to bring it back. But dare I say that Amumu fits the style that IC is coming for a lot more in this game.
Yeah, even though we're still in a top focused meta, I think we're definitely gonna. This game's gonna be about the bot lane.
Oh yeah, when you look at the, we talked about this before. We have all the eggs in the Jinx basket right now. Lulu mid, This is just in the Jarvan that like spells for. Oh, and he's pathing his way. No, he's pathing his way topside actually. So hopefully, for the for the sake of Raging Cajun, he can make his way down before too much aggression comes from the bot side of IC.
I gotta say though, if you're putting all your eggs in the Jinx basket, and if you don't think that's gonna work out, if you can put that Jax behind,
that is ideal. Yeah, because looking at you know, the scaling from the side of IC, their team fight is horrifying. Like having Lilia, Seraphine, Misfortune, and Amumu, all of the AoE is. Oh my goodness.
yeah, there's just so much lockdown. Like you get hit by one bandage toss, suddenly your whole team's stunned, you're all slept, it's over.
Ooh, and Flash is burned from the side of Seraphine as Jarvan makes his way mid. Does not bother to flash of his own. He will probably make a repeat gank coming soon. So Sandbag or Lazaga is going to have to be very careful around against this Lulu. As you know, she doesn't provide too much pressure herself, so it's going to be easy for her to push against the Lulu. But when Jarvan comes through, he puts the fear of God in you.
Yeah, especially when you are an immobile mage with no flash.
Oh yeah, got boots though. Just purchased some boots.
Yeah, there's a lot of mana too with the Sapphire Crystal.
Oh yeah. We're definitely not going to see it this game, but the new tier item for tanks.
Thimble
I love.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, seeing tiers on like 5 different champs in a game, very very fun. But it's that's neither here nor there. But just love the preseason changes.
Yeah. I wonder if we'll see one of the new souls this game. I don't know what Drake's coming up, but I'm sure we'll see soon.
Yeah, we have, I believe this is an Ocean Drake coming up, so that does increase the chance of a Hex Tech or Chem Tech soul.
Oh yeah.
Fingers crossed. And I'm a big fan of the Hex Tech one, just because those are brittle.
I love the Hex Soul.
And the soul with the chain lightning. Bring back the static shiv. Haven't seen that item because, you know, rip static shiv.
Season 11. Ocean Drake spawning up, and it looks like there's not going to be a lot of. Last game we saw a ton of trading going on in the bot lane, but this game is just kind of Misfortune and Mumu have the push, which is to be expected against a Jinx lane.
Yeah, they are giving Raging Cajuns, Reds, are giving the respect that is due to the Misfortune of Mumu. And,
yeah, I think that's
it's
good.
What you have to do.
That bot prio does mean that IC will have premier access to the Drake, though, so we'll see if they do anything about that.
Yeah, we'll see if they do anything about that. Sandbag still has to respect Jarvan as a much more aggressive jungler. You can't just, you know,
early game power.
Mm-hmm. And there is a very large wave stacking up outside.
Yeah.
You would, you know, as Vlada has gotten a couple levels under his belt, he can put the pressure into Jax now.
Oh, that's CS difference. That's rough. That's that range top lane for you.
Yeah, it's and it's sad because you think, you know, Jax, you know, eventually he'll get his items, he'll scale, but you know, Vlad kind of scales better.
Yeah, and if you don't have the money, you can't get those items.
Exactly.
Wonder if Vladimir was looking to call for a dive, but Jarvan was just in the wrong place. That was a big wave. That could have been a dead Jax.
Yeah, but luckily for Raging Cajuns, they are going off and getting themselves a Drake.
Yeah.
And we have Lulu coming down just for a little bit of assistance to make sure it's safely secured. And next pick will be Infernal, so there is a very high chance that we get some new Drakes.
I'm excited. I'd love to see the Hex Soul, especially with both of these teams. The invade potential once you hit 1 to 2 items just becomes so much higher.
Oh yeah, and just like the CC from IC, well, that's a lot of C's, but it's gonna be wild with the Mumu and Seraphine, Lilia ult. It's just
yeah, oof.
And you know, Is that an Executioner's calling already? Again, Eli Ron loves his first item.
Yeah.
Grievous wins against these healing champs.
I mean, if Raging Cajun's top laner is going to keep picking him.
Yeah, that's what he's got to do.
Little unfortunate you have to spend 800 gold and you delay your spike by a lot, but...
Speaking of which, we have a bit of a gank coming in here. Ult comes through. Go away to sleep, Vlad. Pool already came out, but he's turning that around. And all three members had to come up just for Vlad to walk away.
Yeah, that, the pool and then his ult, it's devastating. Hemoplague.
Mm-hmm. It's, that's a lot of damage. And especially, like, it's still pretty early. He's just got, like, a Dark Seal. And,
That
like,
Hextech,
you know,
that Hextech alternator, though, that'll help.
that is true, that is true. And he is tearing up this Jack.
Looks like Icy Clouds is going to be moving for lethality, misfortune, or at least a collector rush.
I mean, I think it makes sense.
Yeah,
The,
definitely. If your goal is to bully Jinx, you want to just get her out of lane.
Speaking of which, trying to bullying too much, and has to burn the flash away from the glacial fissure. And looking at the yeah, you got it.
Yeah, looking at CS across the board, you got about a 20 CS lead in top. Vlad is just preventing Jax from doing anything. But in the jungle, since Sandbag hasn't been ganking as much as the Jarvan has, you got about a 20 CS lead there as well. So gold's about even across the board as we have yet to get first blood, about 10 minutes into this game.
Yeah, which ideally you think this is good for, well, I would say this is good for IC just because they're waiting for mid game to use all these ults in a big team fight. But like Raging Cajun kind of wants the same thing also, but like just a bit later. It's like at this point, who do you really favor in a team fight?
Right now, I gotta say still Raging Cajuns. Lulu has a lot of like strength early. She's still got like the ability to like poke out Seraphine, Lilia, Misfortune. And the Jax has really yet to come online.
This is very true.
Same with Lilia. Like you've got, I just favor the Jarvan, Vlad, Lulu abilities to fight right now.
So this patient game plan is ideal for IC, and though it is
for sure
forcing them to give away Drake, hopefully this I mean. Oh, there comes Jarvan. Cataclysm comes down. No flash. Burns the ultimate. And that's all she wrote. There goes first blood. That was really quick.
I think the bullet time was really smart by Clouds though, trying to get rid of the Jinx before the enemy team could take him out. I think that was a good play.
Yeah, and Jarvan is not done here. He's on Seraphine right now. And she just was able to walk away.
Yeah, seconds
no
before
flash
Dragon.
burn. You know that
Raging Cajuns are just establishing so much vision control. It's all dark for IC right now.
Ooh. And as Mineral is sitting on a ward, he just gets a stare down from Jarvan. He says, I know you're there.
And we're starting to see even Jinx outpace the Misfortune in CS. Looks like IC wants to contest this Drake though.
Oh yeah, it's very important to do so, and Zone just comes down. Will this be some sleepy time? And it is, but there's nothing to follow up on it. Yeah, and this makes up for a dive.
Out too early.
Man, all the way. Oh, will Lulu do this? You said she's strong early. He's coming through with the dive, and oh my goodness, Little King comes through and dives at the tier 2, taking out Misfortune. And again, Raging Cajuns are showing that their early game is not to be trifled with. And oh, Oh, but Lazaga. Oh my goodness.
And
Oh
sadly, we've got
man.
another Mountain Soul coming through, but that was huge. That was a huge play from Lazaga.
That was fantastic. I gotta say, like, oh,
Flash
what a good
kill
heads
and
up
the
it was.
Drake. That was just huge value for IC right there.
Oh, when things are turning around here, there goes the Curse of the Sad Mummy. There we go. We have Seraphine coming through for more work. Like I said, takes out a Mumu, but Lily is on the hunt for Braum. And will she continue to do this tower dive? Maybe a bit ambitious. There's no objectives down here for them to get. Maybe just some fish in the jungle. But Aishi is showing no signs of slowing down despite being at a goal disadvantage.
Yeah. Something I wanted to point out, Amumu has Hail of Blades, which I think is interesting.
Oh, that that one slipped my mind. You know, those Amumu autos, they
Real
they,
impactful.
they they add up.
Yeah.
I mean, ideally, I see something like an Aftershock,
Maybe even
Guardian.
Conqueror. If you're really looking to get up in their faces.
Yeah, a lot of things, but Halo. I mean, Halo. Who am I to judge?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not the one who's here on this thing. Man, Walrus is a much better player than I.
Yeah, I don't play support. I don't know.
Yeah.
So we're starting to see mythics coming through. We've got the Eclipse for Clouds. We've got the Moonstone Renewer for Lulu. Definitely looking at that, just supporting the carries.
Oh yeah, it makes sense. It's not every mid laner wants to shift from doing Ari one shot duty, moving to Lulu support duty, but this is a part of flexibility. It's very important to just note that a mid laner has to be flexible. So, and speaking of which, we have a fight coming down here, and the Cataclysm comes down. There goes Lulu. There goes Jarvan, and that's it. Alright, and it seems like Vladimir is hunting. He may try to chase down Lilia. There's a bit of collapse going on around the Herald. The camera doesn't want to look at it, but that's all right.
IC comes out on top of that. They get 2 for none, and Misfortune just gets to hit the turret.
Yeah, she gets the free fire on the turret. That's ideal, but Ragin Cajuns aren't gonna take that lane down. They may get this turret. They will most certainly get this turret. And again, this Jinx she's online.
Yeah, 4-0. Probably looking at a Runons on next base, very close.
I mean, they already got that Gale Force, so it can only mean more from there.
And Raging Cajun's posturing up towards the Herald. I think this is the first Herald of the game. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
But yeah, we haven't had any charges. But let's see if Lazaga can do his magic again.
I see definitely looking to contest. I think they've brought their whole team up here.
Oh yeah, it seems like the Cajuns are backing away. They have, they give respect. They say this is not our time to fight. We need to get some items, and they just, did some aggressive posturing, but back to a neutral game state here.
I think that's a smart play, especially with the next Drake coming up. You don't get a lot of value out of the Herald after the plates have dropped, so moving towards Dragon is going to be more beneficial for both teams.
It's very important to note that, as the game goes on, again, we haven't had, I guess we have had a true team fight, but we haven't seen, Jinx be able to, free fire her way off with her. It's just shielding her. I'm very, very excited to see if this, protect the Jinx team comp can come to fruition.
Oh yeah, we're definitely seeing a lot of that from this.
It's, so far it's been, a little skirmishy, but in a team fight, I'm very curious if, this will actually, pan out to be a good decision for the Cajuns here. Looking at this, the Drake is up. We see Lulu is picked out, Polymorph coming down, TP coming down, and she's posturing very aggressively. The whole team's here. Man Wallace is caught in a cataclysm. He's getting auto. The whole team is chasing him down, and he goes down, and there is nothing else afterwards. And the Cajuns turn their attention to the Drake. Ooh. Meanwhile, there is... Ooh, Sandbag is caught on the wrong side of the wall here. This may be... Yeah, that is Vladimir coming down, using that Hemo Plague, taking him down. And let's see... Is it going to be round 2 of Seraphine stealing a Drake? Unfortunately not. I'm always
Jarvan's
here.
not low enough. He's got that upgraded smite.
Oh man, the Cajuns were posturing to continue the chase on that Seraphine, but she just walked her way all the way back there from base, and what a scary recall.
My heart stopped a little bit there.
Yeah, the vampire on top of you as you back away. A little scary, Oh man, and yep. Vladimir continues to make his way scaling through the game. And we have a much more even game compared to
this is not
last year.
This is not a blowout like the last one was. This is a lot more competitive. Ragin Cajun's definitely still in the driver's seat, but IC definitely has ways to come back. They've got a Drake under their belts. They've got a couple towers.
Oh yeah, there is a lot to be said for potential avenues back into this game.
Yeah.
If we focused on the bot side for much of the beginning of the game, and top side proved to be just an unfortunate situation for Eliron, but hopefully throughout this game, the split push factor of Jax becomes relevant, and we see that, he still has his tower up. Meanwhile, Vladimir still lost his tier 1, so it seems like, despite the fact that he's down, he's still making his work happen.
I mean, if Vladimir gets a long lane, a little bit easier to CS or potentially freeze with that, but I think Eliron is going to make that a little bit hard for him.
Yeah, I mean, when you get through long lane to CS, this happens. You have a whole enemy team in your jungle.
Yeah. Raging Cage has just completely lost control of their red side jungle with that, with their top tier 1 falling.
And you'd expect them to at least be able to make some sort of play on the other side, but they don't have the vision to do so. And Elon going in here, he is fearless this time. The ults are coming down, Pool comes out, and it seems like, despite the fact that he's 2 kills up, Vladimir's afraid, and there goes very well played from Bleeding to dodge the Cataclysm, and then, there we go, good ults coming down, the bullet time is able to take out the Braum. And there we go, the Bandit Toss comes through, secures, Jinx is able to get her way away, but unfortunately the Get Excited is not enough for her to make it away from Misfortune.
On the top side, Eliron managed to take down Vladimir, and I think that's going to be Baron for IC.
Oh man, and we said protect the Jinx was, a viable team strategy, but it's seeming like it may not be enough.
I mean, if you all get killed before the Jinx gets in range, no one's there to protect them.
And protect the Jinx, more like fear the Lulu. But you only get one of those.
I was gonna say they might have to back away from the Baron without their AD carry, but with Jax there, you don't have to back away from anything.
I don't know. This might not. Yeah.
Yeah.
As Braun and Jinx are coming back, that might be not the move, especially because Lilia, she's strong, but Jarvan has a lot more of aggression coming up still, I think.
Yeah. They're in the vision around the Drake.
Bandage Toss coming out. Stand United. And moving forward. So we have lots of items coming through. It seems like everybody has their mythic except for Jax. He decided to go to Wit's End first, which, Makes sense when you have an AP threat that you have to deal with beforehand. And speaking of which, Divine Thunder just coming in.
Yeah. I was gonna point out the lethality misfortune just picked up Serpent's Fang, which is really good for those Lulu shields that are they're just trying to cut the ability of Jinx to survive.
When you have there's a, I mean, I'm trying to think if that's the ideal item choice. It makes sense, most certainly.
I was expecting a Yomu's, honestly, with the way that item is kind of broken right now.
That's what I usually see when I think of Lethality Misfortune. But Serpent's Fang, the powerful item. It's got the Sorelda's Grudge as well. So already 3 items. That's that was quick.
And looks like Jinx is building towards a 3rd item, Infinity Edge, with that pickaxe. Could be something else, but most likely it's the Infinity Edge.
It makes sense. Now we have both teams posturing as IC has the bottom side of the river, and there comes the Heal Plague right into the pool. We have the backline Lilia, but she is not able. She is a sacrificial lamb as Misfortune claims 3 kills, and correct me, that is 2. And wow, the sleepy time followed up with the bullet time. That's amazing.
We were talking about that combo earlier. Like Lilia just let her died, but the setup for the encore from Seraphine and the bullet time from Misfortune just ripped through Raging Cajuns.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about earlier, is that you can have your Jinx carry, but we're a whole team. We have 4 ultimates to shut her down.
Yeah, I think indexing that much into one person, especially a squishy 80 carry, is dangerous in this kind of top-focused, mobility-focused meta.
It just puts a lot of pressure on Legacy to play very, very well. And if he's not on the top of his game, then team fights will go as what you saw. Everyone will be grouped up trying to protect her. Meanwhile, they'll all get CC'd.
And there's that Infinity Edge coming out for the Jinx. And that's kind of scary. That's the 60% crit with the extra crit damage from the IE coming through. Vlad just finished a Cosmic Drive.
Oh yeah, so now we got our carries are scaling. But let's see if it will. Our next team fight will be.
I see in control with a 4K gold lead right now.
Oh man, and this is we see IC wants to stay as a team. You see them all pushing down mid together. They have their Jax in the bot lane. It makes sense. He's the probably least scary in a team fight at the moment. Makes sense. They got 1 turret coming down, and let's see if the Cajuns can present any form of defense here.
I don't think so. I think that tier 2 is going to fall. They've got that Baron empowered cannon. Raging Cajuns will have to push up into IC.
Yeah, it's as long as they protect this cannon minion, that tower is going to go down. And the Cajuns, they can't cross this line of scrimmage right now. And they have so much range from the side of IC, throwing out Swirl Speed, Encores, all sorts, and then just got Eli Ron trying to 1v1 the Vlad. That's just a thing. And here, when I said trying to 1v1, it seems like it will be 1v1 the Vlad.
And I'm assuming Triumph came through to save the Jax from dying, because Jax is still smacking the turret.
Yep, with the amount of healing from Divine Thunder and Triumph, enough to keep him to a couple tower shots. And here we go again. They did this once at the tier 2, and now they would do this at the tier 3.
Yep.
And then they take it away, and now here come the ultimates. There goes the bullet time. There goes Braum, and only 1 kill. The rest of the team, lick their wounds, make it away safely. As then we have mid and bot turrets going down.
Aaron should be running out soon, so this push might not be able to continue for terribly longer. But I see we'll back away.
How effective the use of that Baron was.
Oh yeah, they took. What was that? 1, 2, 3, 4 towers and 2 inhibitors. That's a lot of money. And you can see that the gold lead was just 4K a couple minutes ago, is now ballooned to 8,000 gold in favor of IC.
Yeah. My goodness, and the Baron is still there.
Yeah.
still using that. Jax might
And
make his way top side.
Baron goes
Just
down
went out.
now, but that's still a massive gold value out of that Baron.
This is that's what you like to see when you get a good Baron. You gotta get all those towers, and currently for Raging Cajuns, ooh, how do they make their way back into this game? I know we talked about before where there is a big deficit, but the deficit isn't as big in this game, but it feels like it's
I think once again your avenue back into this game is Soul, and it feels a lot more doable for Raging Cages than it did for IC last game. Both teams are at 2 Drakes, and with that Mountain Soul, with that about like 200 extra shielding, you might be able to live through some of the burst from Lilia and Misfortune. Maybe you can fight your way back into this.
exactly. I think, I mean,
And that
Jin
Jinx,
might be able to
is
live
getting
through it.
scary. You got an LDR on the way.
Yeah, giving Jinx as much gold as they are, which is what they have to do. Oh man, I love seeing IC just waiting around this Drake.
And I think it's
they
really smart.
it's what they got to do. As you said, that's the Cajuns' one way back into this game. It's just when you have an entire team just sitting there, it's like, well, our one way back into this game, we got to get through Seraphine, the Lily, the Moo. What are we gonna do? And they just give it up to them.
Yeah. I think the next team fight at Baron will probably decide this game unless IC decides they just want to push
We
into
do
their
have a
base
play
giant
against
now.
Jax coming in right now. 3 members against 1. He is taking the fight to Jinx, though. Brings her down low. Jinx is taken down by Misfortune, who's there to support Jax. And he is still alive. Eli, chill. You don't have to keep going in.
He's smurfing.
What is he? Oh my god, he's still going.
Those
You
jump
didn't have
resets. And I think that's going to be game for IC, evening up the series 1-1.
Oh my goodness. And we said, Baron fight would be it. But no. Eli Ron said, I take this now. You try to step to me. No. It's my turn to win this game.
Yeah.
And as we close out this second game, we are very excited for we got a close series on our hands. Last week was a 2-0 win for Ithaca, but now we got some tension. We're gonna throw it to a quick break before our next game. Welcome back. We just had just a wonderful game between IC and the Raging Cajuns. And now here we are in draft for our game 3. Mara, how are you feeling about this game?
I'm feeling good. Both teams have shown us a lot different styles of what they can do, and they've brought it to 1-1. So this next game is really important for both teams, obviously, as we get into pick and ban.
And things are a bit different. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
IC's on red side here, and we have a couple of bands coming out. Lilia taken away as she, had a very important performance. Didn't have the most kills, but the CC and the control, very important to recognize.
IC just refusing to give over the Riven, just banning in round 1 every single time.
Which, it makes sense. Seeing how this guy is performing on his Vladimir and, his stylus, I wouldn't want to see him on his main. Ponder,
No,
he seems like he's a little bit of a beast. So seeing him on Riven, no can do there. And
especially
another
with
pick taken
the
away, the
recent
Jax.
buffs to Gore Drinker and Ruin's E.
Yeah, not a fun time for any other top laner. But more respect given to Sandbag in the jungle. Camille banned away again, and a little turn.
Oh,
We
that's
have Jin.
very different than what Raging Cage has been putting up. They pivot from their hyper carry ADC to a more utility focused one.
Yeah, I'm very interested, and we're getting very different games.
Whoa.
The Hecarim. This is I know that Sandbag plays it, but I mean, when you pinch his pool, he's got to pull out something. No
Yeah.
Trundle, no Lilia, so we got Hecarim, the scary, spooky horse. And they followed up with the Misfortune again. She
I think
is
it's important to
left
point out
untouched.
that IC did let through the Nunu, so I wonder if we'll see that coming out from the Raging Cajuns.
That is true. The Nunu is on the table. And Nunu into Hecarim, I feel that's
It's a
I'm not a
choice.
jungle aficionado. Yeah, it's but I'd say I wouldn't do it. But
No,
you
Hecarim is
know,
just stronger early and then much stronger late. It doesn't make
yeah,
much
it's
sense,
like
but if you're going for comfort,
yeah, it's. I mean, so the Hecarim first pick makes a lot more sense to me now. It's because leave up the Nunu, pick something good against it, force them to do something else, and that something else is the Xin which early game can take it to Hecarim. That's for sure.
oh yeah, definitely. Hecarim may have a stronger early game than Nunu, but Xin Zhao's got Hecarim beat in that department.
Oh yeah, he's got like everyone beat in that department.
And the Thresh, I do like the pivot back to this. Gives the immobile Jin a lot more protection than the Braum did to the Jinx last game.
Yeah, I like this a lot, and also it just seems like the Raging Cajuns were a lot more comfortable with Thresh as like just in general on the team because like they do very well with the zone control from like the first game, having the pillar and the box just to like zone people out and focus on threats during team fights.
Oh,
Oh, but someone who can disrupt that is the Gragas, and we all know
oh.
Eli on is Gragas. Oh
You only
man.
have so many bans, and when the enemy team's got big pools,
hmm It's like you're scared of the Jax, but the Gragas comes back. And the Vladimir ban, I very much understand. That was
and the
scarier than
Silas,
the
yeah,
Jinx, I
they
say.
are making sure their top laner cannot play.
Oh man,
That's what
which
4 bans directed toward their top laner.
yeah, they lots of respect to this guy, giving Eli around the most favorable matchup he can get.
Yeah,
Which it makes sense. And now we have the Cajuns who have to think nice and hard about their last ban, and they take it to Braum,
I'm
which
not sure about that because IC has shown they combined a Mumu with Misfortune last time.
yeah,
Oh,
and
but there's Tarek.
oh man, I know that man Walrus loves his Tarek,
Loves Tarek.
and it feels like last time they had such an amazing team fight. They still have a really good team fight.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at IC's mid laner because they're looking at a dive comp. Definitely, you've got Gragas
Mm.
for CC, you've got Tarek ultimate, and then you've got Hecarim's ult.
Oh, see,
And when you've
oh
got
the
some,
Ari comes back.
I like that adjustment. I think that Raging Cajuns mid laner was a lot more successful when he had agency and he could
Yes,
like
putting him on a
perform for
Lulu was
himself. Yeah, the
interesting.
putting him on Lulu I think was a mistake. But
Yeah.
if IC hadn't shut down Jinx, that would have been huge for Raging Cajuns.
Oh yeah, and looking at a dive comp, Lissandra, it makes sense. I was thinking, a signature Lazaga pick that is much more exciting, but this is also a signature Lazaga pick, but the very relaxed, it's Lysandra. You
You've
know,
got that point and click. You've got the point and click alt CC. Like, so if I see manage to execute a dive, it's gonna be good.
yeah, they again, you know, their team fighting is going to be immaculate here. So we have very strong dive and team fight comp from IC, and then we have the Raging Cajuns who have a very strong early game comp, and you know
I'd
they'll
say
be
they'd
able to
also
take it to them.
got kind of a front to back comp. Like you've got Aatrox, Xin and Thresh in the front. You've got Ari on a flank. You've got Jin in the back. You can definitely shut down a lot of this dive with Thresh Peel, Ari Charm, Aatrox knockups, etc.
Oh yeah, and it's gonna be a very very exciting game. We have two wonderful teams matching up, and you know it's 1-1 right now. So we will see you again in game on the Rift. Welcome back. Here we are for our third and final game, Ithaca College versus the Raging Cajun Reds. See, we have a slobber knocker ready for you this time. How are you feeling, Mara, about this game?
I'm feeling good. That I feel like both teams have drafted very clear identities for themselves. It's less about like the individual skill checking and more about just playing together cohesively as a team, which is something I love to see in competitive play.
Oh yeah, it's something that we are, you know, as this game has progressed, we've seen each player from both sides, or all the players, they're all very talented, and you know, we just need to see how they can all work together, which is, it's we saw before that Rage Cajuns prefer having a game where they can each have their own agency to work together as a team, and at least they performed better then.
Yeah. And
But
I think drafting their mid laner, the Ari, is a really good choice.
yes,
Had a lot of impact game one, just completely took over the mid lane. I'd also like to point out that Jin is running Exhaust instead of a heal or a cleanse, like one of those protective summoner spells, so they might be looking to get a little scrappy.
oh yeah, it's. I mean, you gotta be careful with yourself, you know, because when you have a Jin with all the range and all the CC that he can bring with Thresh, it's a early game. Tarek and Misfortune, they can be aggressive, but they also can be taken advantage of.
That lockdown with the death sentence into the flay, into the deadly flourish, that's just so much lockdown.
Oh
Like you're
yeah.
you're CC'd for like 10 seconds.
Oh man, and as we see this early game shaping out, we had nothing too exciting level one. Just each bar jugglers going to their respective blue buffs, and from here it's going to be very
Yeah.
important to see how these. Where do you think these junglers want to focus their attention?
I think Xin starting his blue is signaling to me that he's trying to leave Aatrox alone and wants to pressure his bot lane, pressure IC's bot lane.
Oh yeah, and that hopefully will lead to what they had in the first game, which was a lot of Drake control.
Yeah, like 4
And
uncontested Drakes would be huge for Raging Cajuns.
oh yeah, this oh man, when they had that last game or first game, we saw how that went for even Ithaca when they were making their small comeback.
Yeah, Mountain
And
Soul is just so hard to get through. And unfortunately for Raging Cajuns, their bot lane is getting the push, so that's not a lot of gank opportunity.
This is true, but it does allow their jungler to just safely farm up and hopefully get control of the Scuttle Crab.
Yeah. Wonder if Sandbag will look for a gank top lane.
In this situation, it looks like he's going for it, but there's the belly bump comes out, and Sandbag is a bit far behind. It seems
the ghost.
There it goes. The flash is burned, which that works for them, and it seems like if I'm a betting man, he will be coming back top.
Yeah, I think Zin's about to get double crab uncontested though, but doesn't mean too much because first crab got nerfed with the preseason. All that is really is some vision control for Raging Cajuns.
The charm bringing him under tower. Sandbag coming dangerously low, but nothing comes of it. And we know that Eli Ron and this Gragas will, in the early game, not the strongest thing in the world, but he will scale up into the game and become more of an engaged threat. Hoping he can weather this early storm of the Aatrox.
Yeah.
And bot side coming very aggressively. The Glacial Augment coming out. And wow, I see Clouds just... Oh, and it's not over yet. Bring another flash.
Excellent flash from Legacy, because if Sandbag gets that knockback, I think that's a double kill from his Fortune.
Oh yeah, which, as you said, these players are immensely talented. Being able to be very heads up and be very careful when they need to be.
So what do you think are the odds that Eli Ron rushes Grievous Wounds again against the Aatrox?
I mean, it might be 3 for 3 here, because with the amount of healing coming from Aatrox, it's gotta happen.
Yeah,
I want to see it because it's what he's got to do. It's worked so far. He's had I dare say he's had rough matchups every single time, but he's managed to make them work. And here he's back, and we'll see if he's got that 800 gold.
Yeah, Eli Ron's definitely been like a bright spot for IC, even in their loss in game 1.
That is for sure. He, dare I say, might be the MVP of this set, but we'll see how things shape out in this third game.
And it looks like Hex Drake for Dragon 1, which Raging Cajuns will probably be getting uncontested as Sandbag is clearing his top side.
Yeah, it's as we said, having Xin Zhao means your early game Drake control. It should be online, and
especially with the push that the Jin Thresh will give you.
So looking at Drakes, we had a Mountain Soul, and then I forget we had it in the second game, but it wasn't
it was another Mountain Soul.
It was another Mountain Soul. That's okay. So the second Drake is a Mountain Soul, so it's not going to be another Mountain. So luckily,
I'm looking for a dive to come out here.
Yeah, some very aggressive playing from Sandbag in the top side, just sitting in the lane.
Yeah, I think it was kind of doomed from the start though. They're both kind of low mana, and Sandbag doesn't have the ultimate yet. Are you getting the push against Lissandra?
And hopefully this Lissandra can do what she's supposed to do and neutralize the offensive threat of the Ahri.
Yeah. I mean, Ahri's kind of an assassin, and Lissandra's made to lock them down.
Exactly. Which, the one thing that you will be a bit wary of, though, is Ahri getting out of lane.
Yeah. Because if Ahri can make a roam bot and pick off the Misfortune or something, so effective in game 1.
Or run up top, make a dive on that Gragas before he can get too tanky, and he didn't run Grievous Wounds.
Whoa.
What? What is this? I'm baffled.
I mean, Lost Chapter probably isn't that bad, especially if they're looking for the dives, because he's been struggling with mana all game.
Death Sentence comes through. And there we go. Just some light trading. Okay, hopefully nothing more. Oh, the exhaust comes down. It keeps continuing. Ignite comes through. And then Tarek goes through. The stun goes wide. More shots. And, oh, the final hour comes up. And will he able to get the Thresh? Oh, one auto away. And they're still going through. If these stuns land, oh my goodness gracious. Hecarim comes through, gets the quick double kill. TP comes out from behind. There goes the Cosmic Radiance. All three members are now invulnerable. The TP comes through, but nothing of it. Will she
We've
run
basically
back
got
in?
team fight in bot lane.
You know, everybody loves a party in the bot lane. And nothing came of it well for Raging Cajuns. They spent a TP, multiple summoners down, but Ithaca was able to get everything there.
Yeah, that cosmic radiance was really good from Man Walrus. I think Clouds would have died in that exchange if not for that spell.
Almost certainly.
And
But
Ithaca
I
with
just
about a
noticed.
2K gold lead now.
Do you see the itemization for Sandbag? He's got
I'm looking. It's on. Oh,
a funny little blue tier.
are we gonna see Winter's Approach? I think we might.
I think we will. I'm thinking about it on Hecarim though. Like, it makes sense. He's got the CC to be able to activate it. If
Yeah.
he wants to get tanky, he spams his Q. I don't see why it's not a good item for him.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I think it's good. I'm not a jungler. I don't really know if Hecarim has mana problems. But I mean, with the extra damage it can offer, I think it's a really good pickup.
I mean, whether you have mana problems or not, more mana is always a good thing.
That's true.
And, you know, as happens topside, more trading.
Yeah, and Cloud's already finished his mythic.
Oh, wow. That was a very quick eclipse. Ooh, and unfortunately, the cast combo does not count down perfectly, but hey,
There's
it
that
still
dive
works when
comp
you
in
have
action.
Sandbag comes in.
Hecarim's
Very,
just
very well
running
done.
over this game.
Yeah, this is one of the first times that IC's early game has been this on point. And we know how the rest of the game goes. You know, IC has been the late game team.
Yeah.
So if they
I'm
get the
wondering
early
if their
game, then
I wonder if their draft supports that though, especially with their mid lane being Lissandra. It's less of a scaling champion.
that is true. That's true. So I mean, who in this game really does scale?
You've got Misfortune, you've got Jin, the Gragas definitely. So the 80 carries and the top lane, pretty much.
Yeah, it's you don't have any of our absurd hyper carries like we had before, but I'd say when you look at later team fights in general, they would favor IC.
I think that's yeah, definitely. I think that's also playing into more what we've seen this series, that the early game is going to determine the late game. Like you
Hope
get a
for the sake
lead,
of this one.
you hold on to it.
But looking towards our occasions are getting ripped head right now. Eliron is patiently waiting around the wings.
I think that's the
don't know if
first.
much will come of this.
I think that's the first early rift we've seen.
Yeah, Eliron just watches his opponents take the rift tail and walks away.
Yeah. Don't really want to go for any hero plays with if you lose this game, you're out.
Yeah, it's good for him to just track though they actually took it. It's can't do much topside. Might as well make sure they happen.
Weak side king and all that.
Ooh, we have Lissandra doing Lissandra things, shutting down engages. And she makes it out.
Yep.
Saves the flash. Just has to burn the ult. Nothing too bad. She'll back and come back and be ready for here comes Hecarim. Oh, past the turret. Ooh, but Lazaga overstays his welcome and gets shut down.
While IC's diving the bot lane with that Predator Hecarim. It's so overtuned right now. Raging Cage is making it happen mid.
And Tarek being the perfect champ to turn a dive back against the enemy. You know, they came in aggressively, and the Cosmic Radiance just says, "No, no, no, this is not your fight to win."
Yeah.
But with that burn, now might be a good time to go in.
Icy Clouds is pretty low on mana.
Yeah, if there is a death sentence landed, that could be a death sentence. And Eliron not being afraid, but having wonderful backup from Sandbag.
And the horse just charges in. Remember when Chem Tank was in the meta? Now Hecarim's still just achieving insane speeds with Predator and Genius Hunter.
It doesn't matter the meta, Hecarim will be Hecarim.
Yeah. And we were talking about this in game 1, but Lissandra has picked up the Crown of the Shattered Queen. Just even more ways for Ahri to not be able to damage this Lissandra.
Yeah, Lissandra is you know, she's being defensive. She's unfortunately did get the tower lost first, so as defensive as you can be. It's good that she hasn't given away too many kills, but you know, there's still a lot of gold on that Ahri.
Manwalrus just clearing out some vision. Oh, but Manwalrus may be caught on the wrong side of the map, but it looks like IC's coming for the collapse, making sure that their support doesn't die.
Very kind of them to take care of their support.
And look at how little damage Lissandra takes.
Oh my goodness. This is the same Ahri we saw one-shotting people last game, or in the first game, you know. Nowhere near as fed, is now struggling to make an impact.
Yeah. And we see Clouds with a pretty large bounty, about 20 CS up on his lane opponent, 2 kills to none. Yeah.
And this is a wow, and it's not even much to commentate there. It's just, you know, Misfortune drops her ult.
Yeah,
and Thresh goes down. This game
like,
is looking
not much Ragin Cajuns could do there. And as we're reaching about 15 minutes in the game, gold lead is about 3,000 in the favor of IC.
And just looking at how things are going right now, it doesn't. This game hasn't felt like, you know, Raging Cajun has done like too many things wrong. It just feels like the game has just slowly fallen out of their hands.
The only thing I would say is I was hoping for a little bit more aggression with the heavy topside focus in the draft. You've got the Aatrox, you've got the Xin Zhao, you've got the Ahri. I was hoping for a little more aggression, but I think IC's done a really good job of shutting that down. Just Hecarim has been everywhere all at once.
Yeah, I've seen Hecarim topside like 4 times, and Xin maybe has he come top?
Zin's got 0 kill participation. Like, given there's only 1 kill on the side of Raging Cajuns, but Zin's kind of just been power farming, which is the opposite of what you want to do on that champion.
And as we've been, we got a fight coming down. The Cosmic Radiance making all the team immune to damage, and a wonderful. The Lantern was almost good enough, but Eliron coming around the flank, and Lazaga coming through, killing Thresh, and all 5 members of the team falling down bot side. That they're trying to collapse on this Ahri. Can she get out in time? It seems like she'll be able to sneak her way out, and Ithaca comes out with 2 kills on that game, or that team fight.
Raging Cajuns do manage to pick up the dragon, so they're looking at a minimum 10 minutes before their soul. But I think if IC keeps like fighting the way they have and winning these fights the way they have, I don't think there's going to be much of a contest for those 2 Drakes.
Yeah, it's and the Cajuns are bringing some offense here, but Tarek's able to just, you know, flash away, shoots his stun out, and here comes Aatrox in the back line, chasing down Eliron. There's a good ult from Misfortune to turn this fight around, and let's see if things will. Ooh, we just got Eliron and Sandbag. Can they stop the chase? And it seems like he's gonna have to use his belly bump to get over the wall. Will he be able to? He's just hiding in the bush. Aatrox Q goes wide. What's this is Sandbag is getting a kill somehow. Um,
This is a messy fight.
this is yeah. That things were looking very good for the Cajuns there, and Lysandra gets a turret. What? Oh, it's not over. And okay,
That was looking good for the Cajuns. They picked up Clouds, who had a 550 gold shutdown. They got that on the Aatrox. They got a kill onto I believe it was Tarek. No, or maybe yeah, no, it was Tarek. Like they killed the bot lane. They got some money out there, but then on their disengage on the back half of the fight, they just got run over by Sandbag.
yeah, I gotta say, maybe the target selection from Aatrox was a bit, off there, chasing
Yeah.
down the Gragas with no bounty and a Bramble Vest. Oh, there's the Grievous wounds. Came a little late, but
More defensive this time though, which I appreciate. He didn't get the massive lead he had against the Silas, not doing as much damage, so he decided to go with the, oh, you're gonna hit me, then you'll take damage and not be able to heal.
yeah, wonderful item for the tanks, and that's why I think Eli Ron loves this Gragas so much because it can opt into a more offensive build, or he can settle into being a tank. And at
just
this
so
time
much-
he's going for a bit of a hybrid.
Yeah, there's just so much flexibility with Gragas's builds.
Oh yeah, the champ is very very flexible and fits the team, the style that IC wants.
Yeah. Speaking of Fimbulwinter, I think Tank Gragas is going to look to pick that up because Tank Gragas has a lot of mana problems and that solves a lot of them. But Eli Ron will probably not be heading for that this game as he's already got the Everfrost.
Yeah, and he is a little tanky, but not enough to not lose half of his health to the RE combo. But looking at Fimbulwinter, we do have it picked up on Sandbag.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like it's been going pretty good for this build. He's having a very solid scoreline. It was at 5-0-5.
Yeah.
And the curtain call coming down, and Tarek will, be a support and do some shielding. And we have a TP coming out. This is a very aggressive spot to TP. The box lands on top of him, and he makes out alive regardless. Man Artist gets a kill on Thresh. Cosmic Radiance comes down. Sandbag is immune, comes through, and his shield kept him pretty healthy for a while. And I see not losing a single member in the exchange.
No. And IC's posturing towards the Drake. Like I said, that's the Cajuns' way back into this game. But if IC can just deny, there's no, they're not going to be able to.
I like this, getting the vision in both opponent's red side jungle, stealing away the red buff. Just waiting here for any member to overstep. And look, here they come.
And they're
The Drake does come up in 8 seconds, so they will drop the Herald mid, say, you have to deal with that while we claim our bounty for the Drake.
Mm-hmm. And they'll even up the Drakes at 2-2. And even with Baron up, the Cajuns can't contest because the take on the Drake is just too fast. Like they can't handshake the Baron.
We have a little bit of a push tease here, and there it goes. Oh, that's just not what you want.
That's brutal.
Oh man, that's that solo queue moment where they ping you, say, "Hey, jungler, go get the Drake," and then you go do what they're waiting in the bush for it, and you're like, "I was just doing what I was told to do."
And IC, I think, is gonna they're gonna transition that into a Baron. No jungler, no smite contest, and with IC 5,000 gold up, there's not much that the Cajuns can do to contest this. Looks like they're gonna try though. They're moving in from mid.
Oh, this is risky. It's gonna be another. Oh, yep. Here we go.
Oh my god.
And there comes the fear out from Sandbag, stops the blast cone. Aatrox comes over, tries to be a little offensive here, gets the pull back on the chains. Q's coming out. We have Eli Ron flash over the wall. Very well done. Aatrox dashes back over. Curtain call's coming down. Pops a barrel and does some fancy footwork to dodge most of the curtain call. Will Thresh get the kill? Nah, Legacy closes out the kill. And Aatrox is coming through, and he popped the World Ender. Q's coming through. Big Q on Lissandra. She pops her stopwatch. The Baron is ticking down, and it seems to be claimed by Hecarim. And Will, a very valiant effort, but actually, I'd say this is debatably worth for Cajuns.
I think it's the best you can get out of this situation.
Yeah,
You had a couple members already dead. You didn't get the Baron, but you knocked it off 3 people, and you got a pretty big shutdown onto your carry, your Jhin. It's the most fed member of your team.
yeah. I guess it's like only 2 members from IC get the Baron. Being the bot lane, it's a lot better than everyone else getting it. But you take what you can get.
Yeah, and it's not really the people you want the Baron on. You want it on like the Gragas for the split push, but you've got it on your bot lane.
Yeah, it's less than ideal. So I'd say, Aatrox did the best he could. He gets some shutdowns too. So as you said earlier, that's your way back into the game.
Yeah. Still a 6K gold lead for IC. 7K.
Still a 6K gold.
7K now with that tower falling.
Oh man.
And IC is just looking to continue the siege like they did in game 2.
Yeah, and wonderful stopwatch dodging all the CC. 2 Everfrost shot out. And we've been here before. IC doesn't have the same team that can zone off of the line of scrimmage as the last game, but they're hoping to protect their cannon minions.
It's gonna be a little bit harder with the range that that the Jhin provides as opposed to the Jinx.
Yeah, it's they were able to kill that one cannon minion, but even may not be as strong a split push as the Jax, but Lissandra do her hand at taking the tower, and we have a bit of a dive coming through. Cosmic Radius dropping through. There comes the onslaught of shadows. The bots comes through to protect themselves, and they just got to give up this turret. Yeah, there it goes.
That's a turret for IC. That's probably an inhibitor too.
Oh yeah, that's got to be. It's like unless they get greedy here, there comes the Glacial Augment, slowing down all 3 members of IC, and Eliron waddling in there. Santa, what's he doing with that barrel?
It's like they're probably going to transition a lot of their pressure to bot lane, where Lissandra's got the wave crash.
Ender comes out, and he gets popped so quickly.
This might be game over. Top lane's dead for, I think that's another 30 seconds. Same with mid lane.
Yeah, they still have Baron. This could be a bold move on the side of IC, but it could just be the game. Yeah, there goes the crash. There goes 1 tower. 1 Nexus turned down. That's looking like 2 Nexus turrets down, and they just got to hit that big blue Nexus. And this is looking like game for Ithaca College. So that's IC going up 2-1 versus the Ragin Cajun Reds.
And they take the
wonderful
series.
Oh man. Wow, what a series. I gotta say, that was very well done.
What is it about close series that just ended like the last game just kind of being like a wipe?
Yeah, it's the Cajuns, they kept it pretty close.
Yeah.
It wasn't as bad as the first game.
I think that Hecarim from Sandbag, I don't know why they kept that in the pocket for so long. That was absolutely dominant.
Yeah, it was all over. I mean, just looking at, I was gonna say that Eli could be the player of the game or player of the set, but it's got to be between those 2.
Oh
With
yeah, for sure.
The power of Sandbag in that last game to be able to be everywhere, and then his Lilia, very low key performance, incredibly powerful, and just being able to set up so many team fights. I gotta say, Sandbag, you got my vote for player of the game.
Yeah, I think I'm still gonna have to toss it to Eliron. Like, even in the loss, the Gragas looked fantastic, and the Jax in game 2 was just so disgusting at shutting down the Jinx.
Very true, very true. What a wonderful performance from both of our players, though, and amazing games from the Raging Cajun Reds. I'll get the name eventually. And Ithaca College, amazing set. Ithaca goes up 2-1, and then moving on further into the bracket to the finals. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Take care. It's been Mark Runes 33 Gregory, and
Mara Marvelous Hansen.
that's us, and we'll be out. Have a wonderful night. Take care.